How many of you are scared of electricity? Well, I am very scared and I do not dare to touch cables, black, white, gray, green, whatever those colors are. That's why I call the expert on this subject. Hi, my name is Anna Smith and I am the broker owner of Bluma Realty, and to talk to us about those very confusing wires that will electrocute you, I have invited my good friend Paul, and he's going to be talking to us about electric. It's going to be an electric talk today. Hi Paul, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation.
Oh, you're very welcome. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself and about your company.
Okay. I'm Paul Arbuthnot, owner and operator of Anchor Electric right here in Palm Harbor. I've been an electrician for over 20 years.
Okay.
In all areas of electrical work, commercial, industrial, residential. Most recently with more of the residential side. I do some, smaller stuff and the commercial stuff, but mostly residential.
Very cool. Well, to talk to us about what is the most common calls for you when you're talking about residential?
Okay, yeah. As far as residential, especially now, I guess with the market and real estate, probably the most common calls I get is something in regards to home inspections that were completed either for the buying or selling of the home. Things that are noted on that home inspection that need to be upgraded, repaired, or replaced.
Okay.
For the transaction to be completed.
Very nice. Now, we're in Florida, and then we usually go through a power outage during the hurricane season. Can you talk to us about why is it so important for us to have a generator? What is the best generator in your opinion, and what is the best way to go about generators?
Sure. As far as the best one, typically what I deal with or what I recommend more is the portable generator, really depending on what you want to operate in the situation where you do lose power.
Okay.
A lot of times people are just concerned with maybe a few outlets or lights. Some people want the whole house to be running, air conditioning, some of the larger things inside the home. So with that, there's all different sizes of a portable generator you can get, that will run, like I said, anything from just a few items all the way up to the whole house. I recommend those more than just the standalone ones. There's a little more, I guess, work for the homeowner involved just in regards to getting that set up and switched over. But they're a lot more cost efficient, and they, as far as not having something that's out in the weather and the elements all the time, I think with a portable system and that setup, it's going to last longer. But like I said, really for less money, you can get really the same result with the portable generator setup.
Okay, very cool. Now, is it true that if you were to change all the LED lights, all the light bulbs in the house to LED, will that save you energy?
Yes, it is true. Really, as far as seeing a drastic change in your electric bill would really depend on how many you actually have throughout the home. If you went in and upgraded everything in the home from a standard, traditional light bulb or incandescent to the LEDs, it would, save you. Probably you'd see a small change in your electric bill if you had it, like I said, the whole home was kind of retrofitted that way. Typically, an LED uses about, 15% of what a standard incandescent or light bulb would use. So you are using less for sure.
Gotcha. Now, what are other myths that people have in their minds compared to electricity usage and whatnot? What is the most common, I guess, mistaken things that people can do around the home?
I think probably one of the most common myths would be that I think people don't realize or understand that almost every electrical component in your home, whether it be your outlets, your switches, your lighting, even like your electrical panel with those breakers, they really do have a shelf life.
Okay.
So a lot of times I think people tend to think that they'll last forever, and over time you really need to update, especially like your breakers, if not the whole panel, just to ensure that they're working properly. If there ever were a situation or you had an overload or even something that maybe had a bad cord on it, an appliance or something, that it's going to ensure that those breakers are going to do their job and trip the power off, to say, hey, there's another issue here. Because a lot of times with those breakers, as they age and they get stuck ultimately in that on position, they may not trip off in the case of an overload or something, so they're not going to really do their job. So those are the moving parts inside the panel, and as long as those are up to date, a lot of times you won't have to really update the panel, but to ensure that those things are working properly, so that safety is the concern with those things as they age.
Cool. Now, what are the few things that homeowners can do today on their own without having to put themselves on a danger situation, without touching the wrong cable and whatnot, that they can do? Little things here and there that will help with the value or their maintenance in their house.
Sure, I think one of the best things they can do, you can have a licensed electrician come out. If you think you're having issues with something, or you have maybe a breaker that's been tripping randomly, and you're not sure why, just have them come out and do just kind of a safety check, safety evaluation, maybe check some of the outlets, the switches throughout the home, and take a look at the main electrical panel, just to ensure that everything looks like it should, and that there's nothing that you can't see that might be happening inside a device or even in the main panel, just to ensure, like I said, that everything's working as it should on the safety side of things.
Cool. Do you recommend to have like a yearly inspection, or how often is it normal to have an inspection for an electrician to come and check everything in your house?
I would say, yeah, if your home is probably more than 5 to 10 years old, especially in some of these older homes, a lot of them that are even into the early 80s or 70s, a lot of them don't have the safety devices that are per code now, in regards to GFI receptacles, and some of those things that just need to be brought up to the current code, that would help ensure. And also from a resale standpoint, those would be things that would probably be noted on a home inspection, so they may want those updated at that time as well. So, but yeah, I mean, you could have an annual inspection, just to kind of walk through and make sure that everything's working like it should.
Cool. And you provide those?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. And then what are the most common calls that you get from your clients or from anybody?
Common calls really a lot of times is like a lighting upgrade, like you mentioned about the LEDs. People wanting to transition from the standard, or especially down here in Florida, a lot of the homes have the fluorescent lighting in the kitchens and bathrooms, especially like in the lower ceilings, like in the kitchens, the bathrooms, those are all the fluorescent lighting. So converting that to LED, or even eliminating that, if they want to put in recessed lighting, a lot of people want to do that as well. So probably lighting, or other things noted maybe that they want to upgrade in regards to just buying the home, and kind of have a wish list of things as far as adding maybe some more outlets in the garage or outside. But those are probably the most common things, or noted, that need to be repaired or replaced because of a home inspection. Okay,
cool. Now, can anybody contact you, or do they have to be a client of yours, only a referral?
No, absolutely. Anybody can call. I am on social media on Facebook. I do have a website. You can find me on Google. So you can contact me through my website, or through my phone number, call or text, whatever works. So really any of those. But yeah, anybody can contact me. Like I said, it can even be some of the businesses that have questions maybe about something small, or any residential customers that, like I said, just have any questions or want any advice just on, like you mentioned, general safety tips.
Great. And then you mentioned that you do also commercial, right?
Yeah, most of the commercial stuff I do is just smaller projects, because it just is me right currently as far as the owner operator. But yeah, like I said, I can always kind of give them a better idea if they want to call and have any questions about anything. I do some commercial stuff here in Palm Harbor for some of the smaller business owners, so I'm definitely an option.
Perfect. Alright guys, well there you have it. So call the expert. Don't get electrocuted like I did when I was a kid. And thank you for watching. I will go ahead and put all of his contact information at the end of the video. So if you have any questions on what cable goes where and whatnot, just don't touch it. Call Paul or call an expert and then go from there. Well, thank you Paul for being here.
Yep, thank you.
And thank you for watching. Talk to you guys later. Bye.